Get connected with Take Two Radio Music on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio Music, or for email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit TakeTwoRadioMusic.com.
And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Take Two Radio Music. I'm Pam, your host. Happy Wednesday, yeah. Happy Hump Day, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not a singer. You can tell. Hope you're all having a great day. It's a beautiful but very cold day in Chicago, but at least the sun's out, and that makes a big difference. Just watching the talk on CBS and saw a singer on there, Nikki Anoski. I don't know if any of you ever heard of her, but wow, what a voice. I loved her song. It was like a mixture of pop, jazz, and blues. Just really, really good. So check her out if you haven't heard of her. But I'm always slow when it comes to new singers. You know, I'm paying attention to my indies, you know, so forgive me. But anyway, speaking of indies, I am very, very pleased to have with me today a rock artist. And here's where we go, where he gets to tell me how I've been butchering his name. So let's try this. Frank-palangi? Frank? Maybe I should just call you right. Frank. I got it right?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, my God. Thank God. I've said it a few different ways, and I thought this has got to be the right way because it sounds Italian. So.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for letting me know that, and thank you for joining me today.
Hey, no problem.
So, are you in New York? Are you on the East Coast?
Yeah, I'm in New York, upstate New York.
And where's your accent? You don't sound like you're from New York. I mean, not everybody in New York sounds like, you know, the Queens area, but I can usually tell the accent.
I don't know. Up here, it's more like country and stuff. I mean, there's, you know, towns and small parts, and I'm about an hour north of the capital, which is Albany, and I don't know. I don't go down to the city a lot, so I definitely don't have that type of accent.
No, you don't. You could actually, to me, you know, a lot of people say that they know right away I'm from Chicago when they talk to me, but I don't hear an accent on myself. So a lot of times when I talk to people like you that don't have your accent from your area, I always say, well, you can sound like you can be from Chicago as well. So there you go. You can fit in anywhere. You can fit in California, too.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's start out with having you tell us when and how you became interested in being in music, and who and were and are your inspirations, if they've changed.
Pretty much since I was 13 years old. I mean, I watched the movie The Crow. I don't know if you're big.
Oh, good movie,
Brandon Lee type fan. But in that movie, you know, obviously the plot, he's a dead rock star, but there's that scene of him playing guitar on the rooftop, and I watched it as a kid, and I was like, what is that? I'm like, I didn't even know what it was, and I was like, I gotta play that. So my parents took me out to the local store, which eventually that would be my first job, working in that music store. But we got I believe it was like a Fender guitar with a crate, like 15-watt amp, just a small thing. And I started playing electric guitar and kind of learning. I took 6 months of classical lessons on electric guitar, and I go, you know what, this is boring. I'm like, I want to learn some real stuff. So then I found bands like my friend brought me a CD, and he goes, check this out, right? And it was Ozzy, and it was the Black Album from Metallica, and I'm like, what is this? And I'm like,
wow.
This is awesome. And this is the stuff I got to learn on guitar so I can get better.
Yeah. Did you take any more classes or just basically teach yourself the rest?
Yeah, I learned by ear, and I learned by watching people. Like a lot of the stage presence and a lot of my ideas and stuff just comes from, you know, DVDs that I bought as a kid, because YouTube wasn't around, so you still had to buy live concert DVDs. So
for you.
I mean, when I was in high school, it was, but all that stuff was just starting out, and this was like 2002, and people forget how within 12 years or so, YouTube really wasn't as popular, and you couldn't just go on and learn anything,
Right. Yeah, no, I remember buying my daughter a DVD to learn to play guitar too. So, and she was born in 1990, so there you go.
Yep, just 2-year difference.
Yeah. So you're a multi-instrumentalist, though. What else do you play?
I play drums, I play bass, little keyboard, sing, acoustic guitar, electric guitar. I record all my own stuff as well. I've been recording, starting on like a 4-track cassette recorder when I was a kid, to some studio gear that I have now. And what it is like my friends and stuff that I'd meet in school, they'd say, I play bass, and I go, oh, okay, bring it over. So they'd bring it over and they'd leave it at my house, and they'd practice a few times, and I just pick it up and start playing it. And through their instruments and stuff, I just started dabbling around and slowly started to play. And it wasn't my main focus. It took me longer to learn it because I was more focused on the other stuff. But I guess I got to thank them for leaving their instruments.
Right? You're now a one-man band.
Yeah, I mean, even on the song Hope you hear, I do all the instruments except for the drums. I do like, when I do the actual recording, I like I call him a real drummer. I don't consider myself a drummer, but, a real drummer to do the parts, somebody who really, really, really knows what they're doing. And, you add a different flavor in. It's not just 100% of, the way I play or my mind, the way it thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, not everybody can get into your mind. So, and do you take other people's suggestions well, or are you more the type like, oh, this is what I want to do and I'm going to stick to it?
I'm kind of like, I consider myself a little bit like a composer. Like, I can hear the whole song in my head. I just have to get it out. And then if there's parts, like if I'll ask people, like, what do you think if I add this, or does that really work, or but a lot of times I notice people don't really know what they're talking about. Like if they said, oh, maybe you should add this element into it, or be cool with, and they shoot out all these ideas, and I'm like, it really doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm open to it if it does.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good, though, because you never know. Somebody might give you something good, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, that'll work. So you got to keep yourself open like that. Now, when did you discover you could sing? Same time as when you picked up the guitar?
No, like 2 years later I started to sing. Doesn't mean I could sing.
Well, you can now.
Mom, yeah, through years and years and years of practice, just sticking with everything. But my mom just kept bugging me. You gotta sing a little bit when you play guitar. And I'm like, I can't. I'm like, it's too hard to sing and play. So I just kind of wormed my way through it, and just a lot of the songs, I didn't play right because I could play them correctly when I just played guitar, but when I played and sang them, I couldn't. So I started to kind of develop a little bit different style. But just through, because I'm self-taught, I took 1 year of choir like in high school that I didn't learn anything. But just through practicing and listening, and just kind of like trying different things out with my voice and knowing my limits and what works, what doesn't work. And just through years of just practicing and keep singing, many gigs, I guess it's what you hear now.
Yeah. Did you ever have stage fright when you first started out?
No, actually, I loved being in front of everybody. My first gig was a 7th grade high school talent show. I just played guitar, and I meshed up like 25 different songs into like a melody or a medley, they call it. And I loved it. Just, there was probably like 500 kids in the auditorium, and I was just like, didn't flinch,
Wow.
I liked it. There's some cases I get nervous. Like I remember a couple shows, I think it was my first national act I opened up for. I tell the story like my hand was literally shaking, one of my hands, just because I was kind of excited too, and that kind of makes you nervous. But the first song didn't go very well.
Oh no. Because of your hand shaking?
Yeah, I mean, it was a band gig, so luckily I don't think you could hear it as much with everything else. But by the second song and by the third song, I was all set. I had all my jitters taken out,
Yeah. That's something that's hard for me to do, like public speaking. I just can't get used to doing it. So even in high school, when I had to write papers and the teacher calls you up there to read your paper, and I basically stood behind it and read it. And I think it all comes down to being afraid of what people have to say, because after that he would ask the class, well, what did you think? Do you have any opinions on what she wrote? And you never want to hear the bad stuff. So
No. I still don't.
Yeah, right. As a musician, you don't ever want to have, your crowd just sitting there going, okay, what's he doing? Instead of clapping and moving along with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're always going to run into that. Every once in a while I do. Lately, past couple of years, I've been lucky. Everyone's been digging it. But sometimes you'll get sometimes it's people are like tired that night, or I notice maybe they're too drunk to even like, they don't know what they're hearing. So
right. Or you play rock music in a country bar or something, that's not going to go over.
Yeah, I mean, I played with Aaron Lewis, which he was the singer of Stained, still is, but I opened up for him in August this year, but it was his country show. But I figured, with the rock fans and the country fans, it would be okay. Like, yeah. So it was okay. I mean, I had a few drunk type people in the front, kind of egging me on a little bit, but it was only a couple people. But it was sold out. There was like a 1,000 people there, a sea of people, and you're looking at them, and you're like, yeah, I hope you like this Metallica song, and yeah, but I made up for it. I did Johnny Cash, I did Turn the Page, and then all the rest of them were all original songs.
Yeah, I was going to mention that to you. I was watching your YouTube videos, and I saw you do Ring of Fire, and that's one of my absolute favorite songs by him, and you did that so well, even in his type of voice.
Yeah. I don't know where I get it from. It's like I have a deep voice, but I mean it just comes out when I do that. I'm thinking of doing Rusted Cage, which is a cover song he did during a next show opening for Buck Cherry, and I figured maybe I'll throw that in there. Give it a shot.
Why not?
A lot of people, they like Soundgarden. You got to, I start off saying, is any fans of Soundgarden in here? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, how about Johnny Cash? And that usually gets a bigger applause. And I go, well, here's a song done by both.
It's a win-win. Well, I also wanted to bring up your motto that you live by, is that not having a plan B on backing down on your dreams. And just a short story, I interviewed Joe Estevez, who is Charlie Sheen's uncle, and when I asked him what advice he'd give actors just starting out, he mentioned about not having a backup plan if you are truly serious about making it in the entertainment industry. And that's what it reminded me of when I read that.
Yeah, I've had that motto since I think it came to me like in 2008, and I've used it ever since then, pretty much. I don't think it's always been on the internet for people to read, but I added it a few years ago because I'm like, that's my motto. I should probably get it out there. It might help to show people that I am serious, and maybe it's a little different. It's kind of a little different statement than you'd see. I kind of use it as to describe my music too, because it's I really don't have a plan B for this.
Yeah, and it does show how serious you are and how passionate you are about your music. So that's a good thing to put out there, not only just for the fans, but anybody in the industry that is looking at you and your music. So they'll be like, okay, if we take this guy on, does he really want to do it? Well, all they have to do is read that, and they'll know.
That's true. And I tell people, I'm a lifer. I'm a solo artist, so it's not a band. I'm never going to break up,
Yeah.
So, no worry, I can't break up with myself.
Not unless you have multiple personalities. Now, you write all of your music, right? You don't collaborate with anyone else?
No, I write all the music, all the lyrics, everything.
Where does it come from? Do you do mostly personal experiences and life situations, or just one day randomly write a song?
Yeah, mostly based off life stuff. Sometimes it'll be about, hope is about a certain subject, and I'll try to think of a story around it or what I kind of want the plot to be. I've always been a big movie fan, so sometimes I think of plots and stuff. And my song "Thank You," I was watching. I believe it was 7 Pounds with Will Smith, and I got that song, the plot of it, from that movie. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes I think of a cool line or two and I write it down. I end up months later writing a song that's maybe similar, and I could put that line in it. There's a lot of pieces and stuff, too, sometimes I put together.
Did you ever dream about a song and wake up and start writing the lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep. Movie scripts, too. I've dreamt of entire movies, original stuff that I had to wake up middle of the night, spend 2 hours just getting all the gist ideas down. I'm like, I really want to sleep.
One of the other. Yeah. Maybe that's one of the other things you can get into is writing for movies or writing a movie. You never know. You can even star in it. I could see you starring in a movie.
Yeah, I've gotten to be an extra on a couple of them, and a couple of these indie horror films around the area I've been in, and I've made some of my own over my high school years. They're still on YouTube. Not the greatest, but it gives you a glimpse of what I was like when I was a teenager and coming out of high school. And the thing is, too, it's the technology really, it was just being developed, those cameras and stuff. Nowadays, if you're in high school and you want to make a movie, I guarantee you could make something a lot better than what we had, just because the quality is there, they have more resources. And
that's very true. That's very true. I know of people that have actually made music and a whole song or a whole EP or something right off of their phone apps. It's just amazing these days what you can do with them.
Yeah, it's the technology. It helps and it doesn't help. You got to be smart about it. Just depends on what type of sound you want,
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's talk about your first EP called Frank-palangi. Now that I know I'm saying that correctly, I read a very interesting story about how it all came together in Nashville. And would you like to share that with our listeners?
Yeah. Well, Day of Fire, they're a Christian rock band. They've always been one of my influences. And they were coming to my town one day, and I got to go see them. So little did I know, it was their second to last stop on their last tour that was going to be it for the band. No more. That was it. They were disbanding. I think their label dropped them or something like that. And they're finishing out the tour at Seven Dust. So I went, seen them, and I wanted to meet the singer because I don't know. I just think I had a lot in common, and I was like, I think I could really relate to him type thing. And so I met him, and it was kind of like fate, because he was actually where the venue is, like the where the merch tables are, the bathroom is. So he was coming out of the bathroom, and he was going to his bus. And I was standing there with my CD I had made, and randomly he just turned around, and he goes, do you need something, man? Almost like he had a feeling. And I gave him the CD, and a couple days later, his producer in Tennessee and the band contacted me, and they're like, we got to get you down here to Tennessee. Let's work on a project together, like your first like mainstream type release. So we did those 5 songs, and they actually played on the record, and Josh helped me with structures and all that good stuff. And I was thrown into, I was in a studio where it's like Taylor Swift recorded, and I found out the night before I left, Shinedown was going to go in to record. Wow. I don't know if it was like the Sound of Madness record or if it was the stuff from Bully, but they were just flying in for like 2 days to record something, and I was like, oh, no, I just missed them. But that was a whole experience. It was amazing. You have music is the lifestyle down there, and I think when the second time I left, they just started filming the TV series Nashville, and then it started to get really, really popular down there. But it was, it's awesome to work with one of your influences.
Oh, definitely, definitely. What did you take away from that experience when you did your second EP, called I Am Ready? Did you produce this one with someone else as well?
Yeah, it was Rob Coates, which he lives in Tennessee as well. And then I was also a fan of the band Pillar, which is another Christian rock band. And we managed to get 2 of the guys from that band to play on it. So we did it in pieces, because I didn't actually go down to Tennessee. Like, I did the vocals here, they did the drums there, he mixed it out there. Like, nobody in the project ever met each other. So it's a completely kind of weird experience, but it worked. And he goes, I've never did a project this way, but, it came out well for that. And it was cool. I consider I Am Ready my statement song of, like, if you had to sum me up in one song, that would be it.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's one of the songs that I'll be playing once I let you go. I'm playing that one, It's All Right, and your new one, Falling Too. So those 3 the listeners will get to hear. I also wanted to mention, when I was doing research on you, I read a review. And it was written a couple of years ago. It was a great review, and the reviewer's name is Jennifer. I'm not going to try to say her last name because I know I'll mess that up. But she called you a heartthrob musician, stating that you were very popular and had a big fan base there to support you. But she also said she was very proud of you because she had been watching you since the beginning, and that you were on your way to being very successful. Now, isn't that wonderful to hear that people believe in you and your music and are there to support you? I mean, those are just great things that she said. Pardon?
I go, that's all you could ask for,
Right?
It's some of these people, what they say, it's kind of like, you almost like, I don't believe it, and it's like, geez, did they actually say that? No, like, I mean it. I really mean it. I'm like, oh my God.
I like that she called you a heartthrob musician. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I guess so. That's all right. Well, I mean, I came out with Frozen, the music video, and it's like for some reason, just all the girls love that track, and they're like, "Oh my God, gotta check this out! The music video is amazing." And like every time I post a picture or something, like some of the pictures and stuff, they're like, "Oh my God." So I don't know,
Well, I'm right up there with the girls. You're very good looking. So being very good looking and being talented, and you sound like you're a very intelligent person. I mean, you're like almost the perfect package. So watch out, girls.
Watch out.
Or watch out, Frank.
Yeah, I know. Gotta have a couple bodyguards.
Yeah. Well, seriously, you probably will end up that way. I mean, from what I understand at that show, that you had a huge fan base there. What a lot of them were girls and wore T-shirts supporting you and screaming and yelling and that. So, but I mean, you have to admit that's why most musicians get into this, because I've heard it from quite a few. They wanted to get into it for the girls, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice,
part of
but
it.
yeah, it's nice. You know, it's definitely nice looking at a sea of girls than a sea of guys.
Right.
In front of you. But I mean, I do appreciate all the guy rock fans out there. You know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The girls, you know, I tell you, I said this before. The girls, they're more sociable. You know, they're the ones sharing my stuff on social media. They're the ones buying the T-shirts. The guys they'll say I'm cool and they'll buy a CD and stuff, but they're, you know, it's kind of like, I think if I was a band, they might wear my stuff, but because I'm a guy and solo artist and stuff,
yeah.
like, I don't know if that's cool, man. You know.
Yeah,
kind of like
me
wearing a David Cook shirt. You know, I don't know if I'd wear a David Cook shirt. I'd wear a Dawkins shirt.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be pretty funny. But let's also bring up that you're a featured artist on MTV Artist, and I want to say congratulations, because I think that's huge. I don't think it's very easy to get on there. How did that all come about?
I honestly don't know, to be honest. I don't remember. I remember I had to claim my page. That's all I had to do. So it was kind of like maybe through my CD being registered through the real databases that they always use. I think it just came up and they automatically made me one. And I just remember, okay, you know, I had to sign up, claim ownership of it. And then now I manage it, so if I release a new song or something, I can add stuff.
Well, I think it's a good thing for you when people find you on there, because, well, although MTV used to be all music and there's not so much more these days, you know, as far as looking at it on TV, but on their, you know, online sites and stuff like that, that is all music. And to me, that's a step up the ladder once you've joined, you know, MTV Artists, whereas, you know, when you're just starting out and just playing locally.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like any database, any website you can get on, especially something like that, to get your name into, you know, is great, because I get emails, random emails, you know, I found you on this website, I found you here and there, and like I put out a post today, and I'm like, I go, you got to believe in faith, because it'll give you randomness, goodness.
I like that.
which is true, because I tell you, it does exist, because I'll just be sitting here, like I can tell you this today. Today I was sitting here, right, and I got a producer from Nicki Minaj's, or an email from Nicki Minaj's producer. And, you know, I checked him out, make sure he was real and all that. And I tell you, that stuff does happen. It's happened before. You never know. It takes, like I always say, it takes that one phone call to change everything. But
right.
that stuff does happen. If you're out there, you know, it's a combination between if you're out there, you know, your talent and whatever they're looking for. But it does happen. I've had some good stuff happen that way.
Well, I hope that you did check and you said that was the real person, right?
Yeah. I haven't talked to him over the phone yet. This was literally a couple hours ago.
Well, I hope that good things come from that. I mean, it's a start to get the email, because that shows interest.
Yeah, definitely.
I know it's I don't know how
too.
you research to see if, somebody's real. I know it's not easy to do. I have another show where I interview actors and actresses and producers and directors and stuff like that. And I remember one time before I started my own show, I was on another one. We had contacted somebody we thought was the actress. And this person said, yeah, we'll be on the show and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? That person was not even close to being real. So
yeah,
you kind of run into that every now and again when you do this kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, everyone does. I have before. I've got fake labels emailing me or fake, they want you to, some fake magazine company, $50 will put a placement in for you, and it's not really a real magazine, or that stuff you always have to look out for. Like, you could get it every day,
Right. Yeah, just like you get those wonderful spam emails, that's exactly what those are. You put them in your spam folder, so get rid of them. But always research. That's the best advice that I can give, is always research who it is and where it's coming from and make sure it's legit. You don't want to be caught up in some fake stuff.
Yeah.
But on to good things. Now, have you officially released your new single, Falling To? Because I saw 2 different dates, and I'm unsure if you officially released it.
Yeah, no, it got pushed back to the 18th.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
okay.
It was supposed to come out yesterday, but
it
did not.
Okay. You're just teasing those fans, aren't you? But I want to thank you so much for allowing me to play it before it was released to the public. I mean, I absolutely love the song, and then again, I love all your music. But why don't you give the fans a little background about that song?
That song, I actually wrote it in 2006, and I released it on a demo record, and it was called Falling To, but it was more of like a love song. It was kind of slower. I liked it, but, it was kind of really mellow and stuff. But I knew, which along with a lot of my songs, I knew that I was going to redo it someday. So I was going through some of my old stuff, and I heard something different about it, and I go, I got to redo this, and I got to bring it up to like a good hard edge rock track. And I think the only thing that is original is the chorus of the song.
Oh.
Everything else is brand new. But it was really fun though, because we recorded the drums in Chris Henderson from 3 Doors Down, his studio in Tennessee, and we used the 3 Doors Down drum kit for the song. And Michael McManus, who's been in like Saving Abel, 12 Stones, and he's playing with Scott Stapp right now, he's actually on the drums for that song. So we took that, and we did some guitar reamping, but a lot of it still I recorded here in my home studio. But that was just fun, just kind of knowing that fact,
Right, yeah. Yeah, you've had some amazing people in your life with your music. My gosh, right place, right time, knowing the right people, all that good stuff. And it's just, to me, I say it's fate, If you're meant to meet them and have them and be with part of your music, it's going to happen.
That and hard work, because I think, definitely if you just sit there, nothing's going to happen, if you,
oh, gosh, no.
Why, I hear about a lot of times, like these indie artists, they say, why aren't they contacting me or this and that? And I ask them, well, what are you doing? Are you on all these sites? I started asking them questions, and they're like, no, yes, no. I'm like, well, turn all those no's into a yes, and then see what happens again, But no, this year alone's been awesome. Like, I got to open up for 3 Doors Down in February. I played with Trapped and Power Man 5000, Aaron Lewis, playing with Buck Cherry coming up. There was another band. I forgot him. But this year alone's been awesome.
To say the least.
Opening up for these bands. Yeah.
Do you get to talk with them before or after the shows?
Not really. Depends how friendly they are. Not all of them are friendly, and I'm not going to name names.
Yeah.
A few of them I've talked with, or it's like the goal is always like talk with the singer, but a lot of times you can't. a lot of times I end up talking with the drummer or somebody else. But I actually met Third Doors Down. I got to talk with all them. I talked with the guy from Trapped. I talked with Power Man a couple of years ago, and he was sick during that show, so I couldn't really talk with him.
Oh.
And Aaron Lewis, he was a cool guy. He was the one we hung out by his bus, and we talked to him for like 20 minutes and just talk about whatever,
Yeah, mainly music, I'm sure.
Oh, no, I mean, we talked about, because he lives like 3 hours away from here. We talked about that. We talked about, he was talking about his kids. I was talking to his wife at the end of the night. She was talking about schooling and all this other stuff.
Yeah. So just general chit-chats. But that's nice that you get to interact with those people, because I'm sure they're influencing you because obviously you like them by the way you talk about them. So I know when I meet somebody that I've idolized, well, to me it's hard to find the words. I have all these things in my head of what I'm going to say once I get through the line and up to that person. And then when I get up to that person, it seems to all go away, and I just go blah, 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 blah.
That happens sometimes all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes or all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a they're like quote unquote somebody, so it's like
Yeah. Well, once you start talking to them, though, you see that they're, most of them are down to earth and they're thankful that their fans are there and they'll take the time to talk to you. Then it makes it a little bit easier for you to talk to them.
Yeah, definitely.
So the other thing I saw, you're working on a new music video for your song called Hope. Now, did you write the storyboard for that too? And when do we get to see it?
Yeah, my friend Jerry, who does he does all my photos for a lot of the gigs and a lot of them, like the modeling photos and stuff you see. He's actually shooting a music video, and I don't think he's ever did any video like that, and he wanted to try it. And I go, you always do a good job with the photos, so let's try out a video. So we finished that up this week, and we did like 2 different setups on Monday, and then we did another day a few weeks ago, and it's a little bit of a process, but we got all the shooting done, which is good. And we had some of the extras, like some of my fans, some of them drove like an hour to be in it, and so we got a few of those people in there. Of course, it was on a Monday, so I couldn't get tons of people out, but I didn't really need a lot of people. So there was just, the few close ones there, and it was a good time.
That's so great that you put it out there for your fans to join in, because that means a lot to them, and that's going to make them a fan for life, not just because of the music, but also because you involve them.
Yeah, and I tell them, I go, you're going to be branded for life in the music video. They always, the one girl had a great time. She's like, oh my gosh, I would come back tomorrow and do this. She goes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to continue with saying something.
Oh, no.
Well, speaking of Buckcherry, you have an upcoming gig with them on December 16th, and doors open at 7. Forgot to write down the location. Where's that at?
It's at Upstate Concert Hall, which is in Clifton Park, New York. And I'm actually playing second for this one. Usually I play first, but get to play second. Tickets are $20. If you want to email me or hit me up on social media, I have an official website too, just frank-palangi.com, and you guys can hook up. All the social media buttons are there, so you can all hook up from there.
Yeah, and let's spell your last name for those that don't know. It's Palangi. And that's why you can tell that I had a hard time saying that. Are you 100% Italian?
No, not 100%, but a lot. I'm also a couple other things. It's Italian, French, Indian, Irish. and a little bit of Native American too.
Wow. You can see most of that by your looks.
Well, it's a dark Irish.
Italian, yeah. As my husband's Irish, and he's dark hair, dark eye, and you kind of don't think of that when you think of Irish.
Yeah.
So also on your website, there's news, there's merchandise, there's music, so everybody be sure to check that out and follow him on Twitter at frank-palangi. Do you have any other upcoming gigs? Do you have any Christmas things coming up?
No, I had planned taking like December and maybe even January off because I've been playing every week since January this year. So I didn't want to do anything, but I landed that show, and I go, I'll do that show, and that's pretty much will be it for the rest of the year.
Are you going to hibernate to write some more music?
Yeah, I have recording plans. I'm discussing with some guy he's in a major rock band. I know you'd know the name if I'd say it, but I can't say it yet. But I might be going down to Virginia.
We won't tell anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. But so I'm developing like 2 songs to do with him. We're just trying to figure out, like the budget and what, certain types of, because he asked me like what style, what radio format, and how you want to gear it, and so. But most likely he's going to be producing the track, and not sure if any of the other band guys are going to be involved from that band, but I know the one guy is, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to it because I'll be driving down to Virginia for, I'd say, about a week or so. Somewhere in there.
Well, whatever music you come up with, be sure to send it to me, and I'd be happy to play it on my Music Monday shows. Certainly.
I have 2 more I've actually finished that I've produced, but I don't really know what to do with them yet. So.
Well, I'm sure you'll figure that out.
Yeah, I've kind of thought maybe I'll do them as bonus tracks or something.
Yeah, that'll be good. That's an incentive. I always like these, the bonus tracks, and it's usually something that you don't expect from the album or the EP. So,
yep.
Anyways, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I know you're a very busy guy, so I'm going to let you go, and I want to play some of your music for our listeners. And have a wonderful holiday.
You too. Thanks for having me here. Hopefully I'll give you a shout and come back on sometime.
Sounds good to me. You're welcome back anytime. So have a great, great day, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, our first song up, it's called It's All Right, and it's featuring Day of Fire.
People die without knowing the true meaning in life. They don't bother to realize the truth in the sky. They don't take away your right to pray. It's everything they want. It's everyone they need. It's
just my type of music. I absolutely love it. Next up by Frank-Palangi is called I Am Ready.
How can I grow without my passion leading nowhere? Not a day has gone by fighting, staying true. So listen close. This is my name. Waiting for the day I was grown up and lived who I would be. Do you know who you are? Believe in what you receive. Is it now time to tell yourself, am I ready? I'm coming out someday, waiting for the right thing to say. When those lights appear, I'll lead the way. Built by my best friend to give up my dreams. I'm not stopping till the end with one last breath to give. I will feed my soul till the end. I'm coming out someday, waiting for the right thing to say. When those lights appear, I'll lead the way. I'm coming out someday, waiting for the right thing to say. When the time is near, I'm coming out someday, waiting for the right thing to say. When the time is near, I'll lead the way.
And that was I Am Ready. Next up, and the last song I'm going to play today by Frank-Palangi is his brand new song. So watch for it on November 18th and be sure to pick it up. It's called Falling To.
My feet are tired of walking on this broken glass. My patience is craving for hunger. Look at me, you'll see I am
Fallen 2 by Frank-Palangi. Don't forget, November 18th, that song comes out, and you guys can buy it. You can purchase his music, again, on his website, which is frank-palangi.com. I'm sure on iTunes, Amazon, wherever you get your music from. Give him a shout-out on Twitter at frank-palangi, and his Facebook is facebook.com/frank-palangi is Frank Palangi solo artist, if I can say that right. Absolutely love his music. I look forward to new music that he has coming out, and having him back again as a guest. He was so much fun to speak with. So thanks again, Frank, for joining me, and thank you to all who listened today. I hope you will join me on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Music Mondays, I play an hour or so of the best indie music from around the world, and that includes Frank's music. So we'll see you again soon. Have a great day, everybody, and great rest of the week, and God bless each and every one of you.
Get connected with Take Two Radio Music on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio Music, or for email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit take2radiomusic.com.